Greetings, loved ones. If you have just discovered that your child or a child you care about has been sexually abused, it might feel as if your world is falling apart. But there is hope. Other caring adults have been where you are, and today we continue our series on caring for sexually abused children. We're going to discuss coping with the shock of intrafamilial sexual abuse. Help us get these messages out. Please subscribe to our channel, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Hit the like button and the notification bell, and please share these messages with others. You could save a life. So what is intrafamilial sexual abuse? Intrafamilial sexual abuse means sexual abuse that occurs within the family. In this form of abuse, a family member involves a child in or exposes a child to sexual behaviors or activities. The family member may not be a blood relative, but could be someone who is considered part of the family, such as a godparent or very close friend. The discovery that someone you love and trust has sexually abused your child is extremely stressful and can bring up intense feelings of shock and rage, confusion, denial, disbelief, and guilt. Dealing with these reactions and helping your child recover from the abuse requires time, strength, and support from your extended family, your community, and from professionals in law enforcement, child protection, and mental health services. Although it may be difficult, it is important to notify law enforcement if your child discloses sexual abuse. This is an important step in keeping your child safe. Facing the reality of intrafamilial sexual abuse can be painful, but by ending the secrecy surrounding sexual abuse, you can help your family to heal and protect and nurture your child so that he or she can grow into a healthy, successful adult. Did you know that more than half of all children who are sexually abused are abused by a parent or other relative? The effect of intrafamilial sexual abuse on children. Let's discuss this right now. When children are abused by adults who are supposed to protect them from harm, their ability to trust and rely on adults may be shattered. Knowing that the abuser is liked or even loved by other family members makes it even more difficult for children to tell others about the abuse. Children who have been abused by a family member are more likely to blame themselves for the abuse than those who are abused by someone outside the family unit. And this is particularly true for older children who may be all too aware of the effect that disclosing the abuse will have on other family members. As a result, it can take victims of intrafamilial abuse weeks, months, or longer to let anyone know that they've been abused, and even longer to reveal all the details. Children from cultures that frown on talking about sex or sexuality may even be more reluctant to tell. After disclosing, children and adolescents who have been abused by a family member are often tormented by self-doubt, self-blame, fear of the abuser, and distress over what their disclosure has done to the family. Sometimes, in a desperate attempt to make everything better in the family, they may change their story or even deny that the abuse occurred. Recanting or taking back the disclosure is common, and it does not mean that children were lying about the abuse. When the abuse is caused by a family member, children may feel pressure to recant because of how the disclosure is affecting the family or because of lack of family support. Seeking help from a counselor who specializes in child sexual abuse can help your child and your family to cope with what has happened. Counseling can reduce the stress and other effects of sexual abuse on your child and your family. With the proper help, your child and the family can overcome and heal from the abuse that has occurred. So let's discuss a little bit about cultural challenges. Virtually every culture has spoken and unspoken rules about sex and sexuality. These rules can make it even more difficult for children to ask for help when they have been abused. For example, in cultures that place a high value on female virginity, a girl who has been sexually abused may feel that she has been disgraced and is now damaged goods whom no one would want to marry. and this can lead to feelings of shame that in turn lead to further secrecy. Boys who have been sexually abused may experience shame and self-doubt. Boys who have been sexually abused by a male may struggle with commonly held misconceptions that this makes them gay. Although your cultural beliefs are important, it is necessary to focus on the physical and emotional health of your child. Remember that the sexual abuse is not your fault. It does not reflect negatively on your family or you as a parent. Seek guidance from people in your community that you trust, such as religious leaders, medical professionals, or others who will be supportive. According to the CDC, over half of all children in the world, that's 1 billion children ages 2 to 17, experience violence every year. The question is not if you will encounter a victim of violence. The question before God is, what will you do when you do encounter them? You could be the person who saves a life. Micah 6:8 says, He has showed you, O man, what is good. And what does the Lord require of you? To do justice, love mercy, and walk humbly with your God. You are called. We are all called to be champions for justice. There is a way out. It is not your fault. Abuse is not love. And most of all, I want you to know that you are not alone. If you're suffering violence, reach out to someone today. If you find yourself in a dangerous situation, call 911 for help. If you know of a child or other person suffering violence, tell the authorities. In our next episode, we will continue discussing the effect of intrafamilial sexual abuse on the family. Until then, God bless you.